All right, I think we can go ahead and get started. So welcome to today's webinar, What's New in Asset Management with the Now Platform Yokohama release. My name is Faith Chia, and I'm a product marketing specialist, and I'm joined here today by my colleagues, Piyush Patel, who's a senior staff product marketing engineer, and Brian Blackburn, who's a product marketing manager. Before we do a deep dive on this webinar, let's go over the safe harbor notice for today. This presentation may contain forward-looking statements that are based on our beliefs and assumptions based on information currently available to us. Please do not make any purchasing decisions based on this presentation. All right, so for today's agenda, we're going to explore the latest innovations across software asset management, hardware asset management, operational technology asset management, which is a new solution from our enterprise asset management team. And then at the end, we're going to have a Q&A section with the ServiceNow, ITAM, and EAM product experts. So you can look forward to this special time where you can get any specific questions answered live. All right, and then to specifically kind of showcase what's going to be new in the Yokohama release for asset management, we have exciting innovations across software and hardware asset management. For software asset management, we're going to showcase Now Assist for software asset management and have an exciting demo for that. And then we also have two other features to showcase. And then for hardware asset management, we're going to focus on one major feature, asset attestation, and we're also going to have a live demo from Piyush for that one. Okay. Oops. And then we're also going to have a section where we're going to talk about OT asset management, which has three exciting new features, which is a workspace functionality and also two different things for firmware management and content library. And with that, let's kick off the presentation with an overview of the new features that software asset management has to offer in the Yokohama release. We first have an exciting announcement that ServiceNow has been named a leader in the first Forrester Wave for this year in the software asset management solutions for Q1 2025. The Forrester research provides an unbiased third-party evaluation of software asset management vendors, and it presents the strategy, current offering, and customer feedback of different evaluated vendors, including ServiceNow. According to this report, ServiceNow has the vision and roadmap to create a platform that brings together all enterprise processes needed for complete asset management. The report also notes that ServiceNow uses AI, machine learning for software normalization, spending detection, and contract analysis, and plans to use AI and machine learning usage into financial operations. This is really exciting. If you'd like to learn more about this report, I think there's a link in the chat that you can access, and you can read all about why we've been named a leader this year. But yeah, we're really excited to see what else happens this year. And then before we kind of focus on the big rocks for SAM, we wanted to acknowledge that there's a vast array of features and enhancements that have been released for software asset management in Yokohama. These new features can help enhance user experience, expand into SaaS and cloud support, improve personal license management, and more. If you want to learn more about every feature and enhancement that's been released in Yokohama, please check out our software asset management community blog and also the Yokohama release notes. And there's going to be more specific information about all the exciting features that we don't really have time to cover specifically in today's webinar. All right, and with that, let's kick off and go into the three main features that we're going to highlight for software asset management today. First, we have a really exciting new feature to showcase, which is Now Assist for software asset management. This is our first major AI functionality, and it's debuting with its first capability, publisher compliance summarization. In future store and family releases, we're going to be releasing additional capabilities for Now Assist, so you can keep an eye out for those in all upcoming feature releases. But let's kind of talk about what exactly publisher compliance summarization is for this one. So software asset management managers need to comply with publisher contracts and licensing terms to avoid penalties and mitigate risk for their organization. However, these licensing requirements are often difficult to understand and time-consuming to process due to legal jargon and their lengthy nature. With Now Assist for SAM's publisher compliance summarization, SAM managers can gather publisher insights on their software state across software inventory, configuration health, and license compliance. This AI offering takes confusing licensing rules and simplifies them into clear, actionable items. With this heightened visibility, users can understand compliance requirements and determine any necessary actions needed to remediate risk and optimize overall spend. All right, and with that, I'm going to pass it over to Piyush to go over our first demo of the day and showcase what Now Assist for SAM looks like.
All right, perfect. Um, can you see my screen? Is all right? Looks
Yeah,
good.
looks perfect. You might want to go into full screen though.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Gonna do that right now. All right, great. Thank you, Faith. We're going to demonstrate how the Now Assist for software asset management can transform your data into actionable insights. And we'll start with Fatima, our software asset manager. She's been tasked with managing IBM TrueUp, which we all know can be stressful and requires extensive data analysis and collaborations with multiple teams. Her primary goals are to ensure compliance, avoid unnecessary cost, and prepare a plan for her CIO. And she has 3 months to complete this task. So to achieve her goals, she starts with the IBM compliance success goals to kind of monitor the overall progress. Now, the success goal may include supporting success activities such as setting up a discovery process for the IBM products, creating entitlements, reviewing product classifications, and then at the end, running a compliance reports. Next, she moves to IBM license usage dashboard. And she sees she sees that they are 67% compliant, indicating that there is more work to be done. While this oversight is helpful, the complexity of IBM licensing and the sheer volume of the data that they have to analyze can make this whole process like very challenging. And this is where the publisher summarization by Now Assist really shines. So in the past, Fatima has to gather all this information, have to navigate through the numerous tables and dashboard to analyze the data for a complete overview. However, with the publisher compliance summarization, she has all the relevant information in this clear, natural language right in front of her. For example, the IBM deployment includes 136 of the IBM products there are on-prem. 4 of these products are coming end of their life cycle and can potentially pose a significant security risk for her organization. And she should really consider adding some sort of success activity and bringing in her enterprise architecture to address this risk. Under license compliance, she notices that the FileNet product is contributing to the highest true-up cost. So now she can focus that right in a primary focus area. On the positive side, on the bright side, there is potential for her team to save approximately $1.9 million through optimizations, right? Maybe things like eliminating some of the unused licenses. And then we've identified some of the installs without matching entitlements. So she can now share this information with their operations team so they can start working on mitigating risk. So now with all this data, she can confidently present her action plan to her CIO and set milestone to prepare for the true up. So this is how the Now Assist for software asset management can support you in driving an effective compliance process, so she can focus on more strategic work. And that's kind of a highlight of this Now Assist product feature. And with that, I'm going to hand it back to Faith so she can continue with the remaining capabilities.
All right. Thank you so much for showing us that, Piyush. That's exciting to see how much Now Assist can really help SAM managers just with this first capability. And I'm looking forward to kind of see what else we have in the future. Okay, with that, let's kind of continue our SAM highlights for today. The next feature that we want to highlight is software asset management guided setup. So setting up a new product can be a really lengthy process that involves navigating through multiple modules and screens to complete requirements such as success goals, configuration, entitlements, and more. And just talking about it, the setup process already sounds time consuming, and it really is for SAM managers. And it kind of prolongs how quickly they can start using and reaping the benefits from any new software products. With software asset management guided setup, users receive prescriptive steps to set up a new SaaS or on-premise software product. It offers a single entry point to set up a product and eliminates the need for all these different modules and screens throughout the process. This simple interface improves user experience and minimizes the time spent setting up a new product, which results in lower time to value overall. All right, and then for our last feature today that we wanted to highlight for software asset management, we have SAP S/4HANA Cloud Support Public, which is an integration that expands support to the public cloud and the full user equivalent license model. This integration populates data in the user subscription table to capture user information and the role that has been applied for that user. You can also track the number of licenses that are used during the reconciliation process. These functionalities offer increased visibility to software usage information and subscriptions. Okay, and with that, let's start talking about what we have for hardware asset management. And today we'd like to highlight asset attestation. So, with the new norm of remote and hybrid workspaces, it's become pretty difficult to keep track of assets that are located outside of corporate office spaces, such as company laptops, monitors, and any other hardware assets. It can be really challenging for companies to keep track of these different assets and confirm if they're still in use, especially when employees may be leaving the company and they may fail to return old assets back to the company. However, companies can keep track of these assets by performing attestation requests, which allow IT users to validate that serialized assets are still in use by the assigned user. Hardware asset management's asset attestation enables asset managers to create, assign, and monitor the completion of these asset attestations. Asset managers can validate that serialized asset usage for hardware not contained in corporate offices. By verifying the asset chain of custody, organizations can mitigate security risks and inflated asset costs that are incurred from incorrect asset data. Now I'll pass it to Piyush to showcase our second and final demo of the day.
Great. Thank you again, Faith. So let's talk about the hardware asset attestation. Going to full screen mode here real quick. There you go. So as we continue to deliver a single asset management platform to our customers and expanding on industry-leading use cases, asset managers have frequently asked a way to manage asset attestations. As an asset manager, someone like Oliver is helping his IT and procurement teams gain better insights into number of assets that they currently have in use. And in a hybrid and remote work environment, managing this asset data often involves sending emails and forms for end user to complete or respond to, which can be manual and time consuming. So to enhance the asset visibility, automate workflows, and engage users through a centralized platform, Oliver starts with hardware asset workspace. Within the workspace, an inventory module, and this is where he could select any of this widget or chart for detailed information and take necessary actions on things like open hardware requests, repair orders, asset audits, and more. But what he's really looking for is to be able to create, assign, and monitor the completion of the asset attestations from start to finish. So thanks to the new asset attestation feature, Oliver can initiate attestation request directly from the inventory workspace. He can set this up request as a one-time or recurring. There is also an option to create attestation based on roles, location, and other criteria. Once the attestation is submitted, an email notification is sent to the end users, requiring them to confirm that these assets, whether these assets have been assigned to them. And right away, Oliver sees that there are a number of assets being targeted, as well as the number of users that these asset requests will be sent to. Now, let's switch over to the employee side, the end user side, employee center, to see how these end users can respond to their attestation request. In the employee center, we know that we have is can serve as a central locations where employees can access help and guidance throughout the organization. Under My Assets, these employees can confirm that their ownership of the serialized hardware asset has been assigned to them. Now, this straightforward acknowledgement process helps Oliver with accurate inventory, reduce unnecessary spending, and mitigate risk. Now, back in the inventory, once the employee confirms this, Oliver can go back to the inventory module where he started with and kind of confirm that the attestation process is indeed complete. So in summary, asset attestation is a powerful pathway to improve the visibility of your asset inventory so you can focus on more strategic work. So this is kind of what I had planned to cover for the attestation feature. And now I will pass it on to Brian to highlight the other features. Over to you, Brian.
Awesome. Thank you, Piyush, and hello, everybody. My name is Brian. I'm going to be highlighting the capabilities from our new solution that our enterprise asset management team has been hard at work at for the Yokohama release, Operational Technology Asset Management. So this is a specialized solution leveraging enterprise asset management capabilities, and is designed specifically for managing OT devices and operational equipment within asset-heavy kind of industrial environments. Please note that the capabilities I'm sharing today are only included in the operational technology asset management solution. So enterprise asset management alone will not be able to support the use cases that I'll be discussing today. I definitely want to recommend watching the Operational Technology Management Yokohama release webinar that's actually happening tomorrow, live from 9 a.m. Pacific time, where you'll learn what's new across all of our operational technology solutions. So the QR code here and the direct link is down here for you to register. Both provided for you. So hopefully, if you're interested, you'll be able to join us tomorrow. And with that, let's go ahead and dive in. Thank you, Faith. All right, as part of the OT asset management solution, we are excited to introduce the Operational Technology Asset Workspace, designed to revolutionize how operational technology, our operational equipment, and your OT hardware asset life cycles are being managed. The OT asset workspace and workflow enhancements are going to provide expanded visibility and control over the asset lifecycle. So this is going to help you streamline workflows for asset requests, refreshes, stock orders, asset onboarding, repairs, return merchandise authorizations, and disposal processes, right? All for OT, OE, and OT hardware assets. And these tasks and processes will all be condensed into a single unified interface. The workspace was created with the goal of helping you achieve heightened efficiency and control over the OT asset life cycles, helping you enable informed decision-making regarding both your current and your future investments, and hopefully reducing operational costs and mitigating those downtime risks, which can be very costly to an organization. Even a minute, right, can be very costly. So much like our hardware, software, and enterprise asset workspaces, managers of operational technology, equipment, and hardware will now have a workspace that's aligned specifically to their role and the types of assets that they're managing. Next slide, please, Faith. Thank you. The next OT asset management feature we're showing addresses the prevalent challenges in firmware management that's too often faced by businesses that are operating within manufacturing or industrial environments. So businesses often, excuse me, are grappling with maintaining consistent and accurate firmware management across their myriad of devices. So this often leads to potential security vulnerabilities, compliance risk, and operational disruptions that are due to or caused by these outdated, untracked, or incompatible firmware versions. So the firmware management module is built to ensure the secure, compliant, and efficient management of firmware installed on your OT devices. And by introducing a new data model, this feature facilitates the ingestion, the analysis, and the normalization of firmware versions, enabling streamlined lifecycle management and enhanced security practices in OT environments. Thank you, Faith. All right. The last feature we'll be talking about is firmware content library and normalization, which is helping to make firmware management even easier by helping to standardize discovered firmware publishers with version numbers, release dates, and UNSPSC codes. So the firmware content library empowers users to create and manage firmware models and improve classification accuracy using these unique UNSPSC codes, or by registering custom firmware products and versions directly within the OT asset workspace. So by defining these unique UNSPSC codes for firmware that may not be presented in some standard catalogs, you can significantly enhance classification accuracy and simplify the management of custom firmware models and their corresponding CPE. All right, so that's going to be a wrap on the operational technology asset management Yokohama release. Ah, gosh, that's a mouthful. Before handing things back over to Faith, I want to take the opportunity to mention again Knowledge 2025, which is going to be live in Las Vegas from May 6th to the 8th at the Venetian Resort. Knowledge is ServiceNow's biggest event of the year. We invite our customers, our partners, and employees from all over the world to share stories, best practices, kind of what's new across the entire ServiceNow platform. You'll get to watch keynotes, join hands-on labs and learning experiences, attend breakout sessions, and of course, explore our expo hall, where our ServiceNow experts, our partners, and even our customers are eager to meet with you and answer any questions that you might have. So there really is something for everyone here at Knowledge. So we hope to see you there. Just scan the QR code for more information or to register today. The direct link to register is also shown here at the bottom, but I'm going to include a couple links here in the chat once I pass it back over to Faith, directing you to a list of ITAM and OT specific sessions that are happening at Knowledge this year. So Faith, I know you've got some other upcoming events to mention, so I will hand it over to you.
All right, thanks, Brian. And I hope to see several of you guys at Knowledge. We're really excited this year to show what we have. But kind of moving on into different asset management events, I wanted to talk about our Q1 asset management roadmap events that are coming up in the next following weeks. So these presentations will contain confidential information and trade secrets. Kind of get to see what's on the map for software asset management, hardware asset management, cloud cost management, and enterprise asset management, depending on which sessions you register for. So please see below for all the following registration links. Hopefully someone's sending it in the chat for these upcoming sessions. The first option of all of these are filmed live, as you can see. And if you can't make that one, then feel free to join any of the replays, which will be a recording of the session. So if you want to have the chance to see it live, I encourage you to see the first one, but if not, the second ones are great options as well. And this is a really good chance to kind of see what we have coming up in the future. All right. And also, if you want to learn more about anything that we talked about today or just in Yokohama in general, you can visit the ServiceNow community site to kind of check out our community blogs, and you can read more about all the features that we highlighted in the presentation today, and also some of the other ones that we didn't have time for, such as all of the software asset management features that we showed in the beginning and all those enhancements, as well as any of the demos and the presentation that you saw today. This is also going to be posted later on the community site and also YouTube. So if you want to check it out later and kind of review everything that we've talked about, this is a great resource to kind of look at. All right. And also, if you love our products, we'd really like to see you write a G2 review for ServiceNow. You can scan this QR code here, and you can leave a review through the specific portal. And when doing so, you can earn a $25 Amazon gift card while supplies last. So it only takes a couple of minutes of your time if you want, some extra money to buy, I don't know, any gifts for yourself on Amazon. This is a really good opportunity to do so. I'm just going to leave it on the screen for a second. If you haven't heard of G2 before, it's a peer-to-peer review site and software marketplace platform where users can share their experiences with business software and services. You can kind of think of it as like a Yelp for businesses, where you can leave reviews on your experience with different products as long as you're a user of it. We really appreciate all of your reviews, and we actually read all of them to kind of see what aspects you're really loving about our products and any feedback that you might have. So if you'd like to leave a review and also get a gift card in the meantime, which really doesn't hurt, you can scan this specific QR code. If you leave a review just by looking up our looking up G2, you can also do that. But if you're not using this specific QR code, then you won't be receiving the gift card. So even if you don't have time to fill it out right now, you can just pull out your phone really quick, scan it, and save it for later. It'll save the link. Okay, but yeah. And then before we go into our final Q&A session, just to recap, this is everything that we've covered in our webinar today. We highlighted software asset management with the really exciting new feature of Now Assist for software asset management. And then we got to see a demo about that. For hardware asset management, we focused on asset attestation, which is really relevant in the hybrid and remote workspaces that we have today. And lastly, we showcased operational technology asset management, which is a new solution from our EAM team. If you'd like to learn more about that, again, you can check out our specific OTM webinar that we'll have tomorrow at the same time.